Hi, welcome. I always giggle because it's so weird to do videos like this. It's cool, but it's weird because I'm just talking to a phone, but I know I'm eventually talking to people. Okay, I hope you're doing well as can be, enjoying the shift in energy. I hope you're feeling the shift after the heavy eclipses energies. I mean, things have been heavy for a while. So, thanks for being here. Today's video is going to be short. It is in regards to some truths that are coming out. I talk about that there's a spell on us and that there's rituals going on. Well, it's a harsh and really basically grotesque truth about some of the upper elites, people who are kings, queens, princes, high CEOs, high profile on TV, and then also people we don't know that are participating in basically blood. There's three things happening. First is a secret blood sacrificing. Now, it's not so secret because we see it in our religions, okay? You see it in Judaism with chickens. You see it in some of the, you could say African-based religions, even though, okay, sacrifices. You see it in our own Sybil Bible, sacrifices, blood sacrifices, okay? Because you bleed when you get the foreskin, you know? So, and it's a general area. So, the planet has been guiding me to share some of this information. I got this information like 3 years ago, and I shared it in the group I was in. Wow. I'll talk about that whole thing. You know, I've talked about some of it, but it's amazing that those are part of the programmings that come in to try to distract us and are ever present at the moment. Well, so when I first started seeing and hearing about these rituals, and also understanding, understanding that the great mother, or the great planet nurturer, creator, is seen. Like, you know, seeing is believing, right? So this is my spiritual evolution, was nothing is more ever present than this planet and the spirit within it. And to me, it's feminine, okay? This is the great mother, which is part of the planet, and the great cosmos is my theory. And through that learnings, I was given a message about the blood and the blood sacrificing. So the blood, the original blood magic, if you want to call it magic, but the original blood magic or healing was based off of the feminine moon, or periods as we call it, her actually shedding blood. It was used, I've mentioned this book before, Mutant Message. It was used there. If you know about certain religions and rituals, if you've read the book The Red Tent, these were the feminine practices. It was used for healing. You know, in today's like natural witches, we know that if you use your period blood and put it in your plants that you're growing to eat, it actually helps your own DNA, helps your family's DNA, especially if you've given birth. You can, what is some of the other things that I've learned about it? People use it as protective. Some people will carry it with them. You can do womb healing with it. Why you're bleeding. There's so much to that, because it also means that in the blood there is life, right? There was life, and the body does this whole thing. It helps remove certain toxins. And so if we were super healthy and eating basically natural foods all the time, and we think about nature, right? Nature to me is the greatest teacher, and most good teachers will remind you of that you are part of nature. And when you go outside and you go in and experience things that are part of nature, animals, forests, rivers, oceans, streams, animals, wildlife, so to speak, we begin to recognize the vastness of creation. And so and you'll see in all those groups outside of the walking human group, these groups are predominantly taught by the female. Most of the dancing and mating season is for the female, and she doesn't have to look special because she is the creator of all things. She is the creator of the tribe of turkeys, deer, trees, you know, the seed. Okay, so with what is now happening and has been happening for a very, very long time, is from what she explained to me. So when the quote-unquote witch hunts happened, or when the patriarchal switch happened, and the demonization and the bloodletting of the females that were the teachers, the original teachers, mostly what was stolen was the blood magic. And it increased, of course, with the fear and the shedding of actual blood, right? And so what has happened, because we've evolutionized to realizing that sacrifice, and if we actually go into the word, sacrifice actually means to make something holy or to make something ritualistic, to make sacred, not to actually give up something, but to actually bring in something, and then have that be a sacred part of your life, or of life. So this is why it was continued in these certain rituals, because and then why also the demonization and the fear of actual, I mean, it's just now in this generation that talking about the womb and periods and the moon cycle and the history of women is really, really, really coming out. The other time would be the 60s. And yet, and still during the 60s, it wasn't super common to learn about the vagina, the womb, the yoni, and love it. There was still a lot of promotion of douching, still a lot of promotion of tampons, and promotions of, you know, the odor and the grossness of the woman's period. Well, when we used to do it in a community setting, we weren't out and about. We were in a tent. We were sedentary, and we were supported by other women while we bled. Okay, and usually went into the ground or into buckets, and it wasn't just like soaked up into a pad and thrown into the trash. No way is that what we did, or into a tampon, which causes all kinds of health issues. Like, we're not supposed to put something in there and just leave it like that. Like, we didn't do that. We learned from nature. So and we would be bathed by the matrons, and we would be supported by the youth, because they were learning what they would be needing to do. And then the elders and the matriarchs, the wombs and the women who by this time had gone into menopause, this is called. Sorry, it's just the wordplay. It just drives me nuts. Anyhow, stopped having their periods, had already gone through it. So there was this whole teaching that was happening, the cycle of a cycle that was understood, and how important and how powerful the woman becomes, and how powerful the blood, which became a sacrifice because it became sacred, not because it was to be given over in that sense. It wasn't like women purposely made themselves bleed. This was through nature. Okay, so we had understood it and harnessed it and helped to create these great civilizations. And then somewhere that was taken, and it has been being used in the background. And so this is why, again, I think the message comes through about the great divine feminine, because the more we understand that what is happening today are pieces of what was natural in the beginnings, so to speak, or in the height of what we would call the golden ages, the ages of knowledge, the ages of great civilizations that didn't have to pay for things, you know what I mean? Like, and how it shifted is it came from somewhere, but the somewhere that it came from was natural. And so even within this, we can start seeing the paradigm of where things were taught to be unnatural, unclean, unhealthy. And so in the background, there's these not good things going on with blood and magic. And it comes from the feminine. Again, right? Again, most of these things have come from the feminine. So the counter to it is to educate people to what is going on, and to I mean, my best guess is to stop actually supporting these people and these companies as best we can. I mean, I'm even wondering, yeah, I'm not gonna say it because we need the truth to get out there. So until, yeah, we need the truth to get out there. So one of the other things I've recognized is that it's really hard to help the truth to be shared, but what is easier is to bring in what will actually bring healing for us personally, because it is a great reflection that's happening outside, and I think it has to deal with emotions, triggers, recognizing our own contributions to things, and how we can start actually taking our power back. All right, until next time, may you, your family, your pets, your plants, the land above and below you, the ether, your own passions and dreams be honored, honorable, prospers. 9